What's good? This is my UFC Fight Night VIP experience in detail, which I thought was a pretty good time. Definitely worth the money. When I was looking at VIP experience versus the regular tickets for where I sat, which was on the floor, about as close as you can get. We sat right behind the family and friends of the fighters. So it's basically like third row. Great seats, man. Absolutely great seats. Corner seats. We were right by the walkouts. You might have saw me on ESPN, to be honest with you, and didn't know it. Let's start with what a VIP experience includes. The first thing that it includes will be an automatic seat to the fight weigh-ins, which I always say, whether you get the VIP experience or not, you should definitely always, if you're going to a UFC event, go to the weigh-ins. It's a really cool experience. You probably watch it on your computer, on your phone all the time. Go experience it in person. 100% worth it. If you're not sitting on the floor, it's a free event. It's always worth it. But sitting on the floor definitely makes it a little bit cooler. You're definitely by a couple of the family and friends of the fighters, and also just some diehard fans as well. I think you can also pay like 20 to 30 bucks to sit on the floor. Might be worth it if you're not doing the VIP experience. So basically what happens, you go to the weigh-ins. After the weigh-ins, you sit in your seat. A VIP hostess will come get you, walked us backstage, and there was two fighters there waiting for us. For UFC Fight Night St. Louis, it was Uriah Faber and Laura Murphy. Obviously not the biggest names by any means, but if you're a UFC fan, you appreciate it. There wasn't a lot of people with us that were doing the pictures, so kind of got to hang out, ask him some questions. He made some selfie videos for my brother, which was really cool. So I do think it's a little better than the average public meet and greet. You get a little bit more time with them, ask them a little bit more questions, and it's not just you walking up to a poster, shaking their hand, and you got to go because the next person's waiting in line. You definitely get a little bit more of a chance to kind of just talk and kick it, man, which is pretty cool. Then obviously the fight day comes. What does that mean? So for the VIP, certain arenas will have special entrances, but the UFC St. Louis definitely did not. We still went through the front door like everyone else. We go to a little desk, we kind of check in. They give us our little lanterns. They give us wristbands for the lounge you get access to, which is another part I'll get to. Unless you're going to a very particular arena, there wasn't any type of special entrance. Like Las Vegas would be a good example for that. Las Vegas has a special VIP entrance that you take that isn't to the public, and you just walk right into the arena. So obviously a major factor for the VIP experience is all you can eat and drink for the prelims, which is going to vary from arena to arena. So it's hard to compare one to the other. But for St. Louis, it was in the Bud Light Lounge on the second floor. It was from 6 to 9 o'clock, which is obviously plenty of time to drink and eat. For what it entailed for us, they have a top-notch bar, all top liquor. I was drinking Casamigos tequila all night. They won't give you shots, but they'll give you pretty much close to a shot. They just got to put a couple ice cubes in there, but they don't stop you. There's no limit to how many drinks you can have unless you're probably acting a fool. If I had to think about how much I probably would have spent on liquor for how much I drank, especially me and my girlfriend, I bet in the arena we'd have spent all of $200 to $300 on liquor for drinking for that amount of period. The food that was included really wasn't that special. All my brothers were eating it up though. They basically had definitely a bunch of finger food. They had some like mini fried meatballs. They had some artichoke bites. They also had some mini beef Wellingtons. They had some dry rubbed wings, and then they had barbecue sauce, ranch, or whatever type of sauce you wanted to put on your wings. Nothing too special. They had a couple desserts, but nothing honestly that stood out that I feel I need to mention. Also, what comes with the Bud Light Lounge, or like I said, just wherever they have the free all you can eat and drink, is 2 or 3 fighters come up and they hang out at the lounge for a little bit in between the fights and during the fights, and you can go take pictures with them, ask them a couple questions. They kind of hang around for a little bit, but definitely not too long. Mine had Nate the Train. Unless you're a casual fan, you definitely know who Nate the Train. Definitely not a champion name, but up and coming entertaining fighter. Laura Murphy showed up again. I already met her and took a picture, so that definitely wasn't a big deal for me, but it was definitely cool meeting Nate. It was in St. Louis, so this isn't a major city or some vacation place, you know, a lot of fighters are gonna come. I was kind of satisfied meeting Nate the Train, and I was in my seat most of the time. In between fights, we would run up, get a new drink, try to get a shot or two in, smash a couple of wings or so, and then we're running right back down to the event to sit in our seats and not miss out on anything. If I had to guess, man, I think it's worth it if you've never done it. I think if you've done VIP experiences before, maybe not as much worth it. I do like the hospitality factor of it. Definitely treats you a little bit more special when you have those lanterns on. If the price isn't that much of a difference for the seats you're getting, I mean, you're talking a couple $100 difference. I think it's worth it to spend the money on the VIP experience. You get you never know who you're gonna meet in the backstage meet and greets. You never know what type of food you're gonna get. And like I said, you can pound probably a couple $100 worth of liquor that you would pay at an arena at the UFC hospitality. Like I said, you can get all you can drink. They have top shelf. I mean, just to give you an example, me and my girl got there before they opened the lounge for the hospitality. We paid, I believe, like $40 for 2 margaritas of Casamigos. So you can only imagine if we had like 4 or 5 of those, it's going to add up. And just think if we didn't have the hospitality, we would have had food too. So you're talking about, we would have spent a good $300 on food and drinks probably. And you know, gotta remember, these UFC events are 6 hours. So you're definitely going to get hungry and a little thirsty. I think if you're going to do a UFC fight night VIP experience, do the research, check the ticket prices, and if you're only talking about a minor difference, I'm talking about $250 to $500, I would 100% recommend it. It gets you a chance to meet fighters, all you can eat and drink for a minimum 2 to 3 hours. I just think it's worth it. It's cool. I met a couple cool people there too. So yeah, so I guess my final verdict would be yes, but unless you got the money, I don't think it's something you should do all the time. But if you've never experienced it and you're going to a fight night, I definitely think it just adds a little bit. It's like that cherry on top for the weekend event. But if you're going out of town to one of these and you're only going on the day of the fight, you're definitely losing out on some of the experience. So that's definitely something to take into account. Overall, I would recommend the VIP experience. I had a blast. Let me know if you guys have ever done a fight night experience and what you thought about it and if it's worth the money. I'll also be making a video comparing the fight night experience versus a pay-per-view experience in another video. So watch out for that because it is a major difference from a fight night VIP experience from a pay-per-view VIP experience. You definitely pay to play, but look out for that video because I think you guys will enjoy that one if you're looking to go to a UFC event. Be easy.